listening to the Joe Camo Show. Real sports, real talk.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Joe Camo Show. We are back, and I wanted to bring back this show because I really am fascinated with sports and doing interviews instead of just doing fantasy football. So I'm back, and what a way to slap my way back into podcasting with interview style with Nate Burnard here. Amazing guest here. I had to pick, the number one contender heavyweight in Power Slap to kick this off, man. Welcome to the show, Nate.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Man, I'm just gonna let you talk, man. If you don't mind telling us a little bit about yourself, what's going on now. I don't know the whole scoop. I'm not really into Power Slap. I kind of got into it a little bit, but I want to get more into it. I got so many questions to dive in, but I want to learn more about you, what you're doing here. I understand right now you are the number one contender for heavyweight. I mean, this is a new sport too, so you're like the pioneer of this stuff. This is amazing stuff. So I want to hear more about you. What's your story, man?
So pretty much, I'm from Buffalo, New York. My name is Nate Burnard, a.k.a. the Buffalo Soldier. Everything I do is for Buffalo in that sense. I signed up for Power Slap about, I'd say a good 3 months ago, just on a whim on some joke stuff. Talking with my pops. We're just watching on YouTube. And he kept bugging me, say, you should do it. You should do it. And, I just pushed it aside. I'm like, nah, no way. We just watching guys slapping each other left and right. But little did I know, and I've come to find out my dad's really good at his intuition and he's good at foreseeing things. So he pushed me onto that, and then next thing you know, he sent me a link. I signed up, and my first match was in July 7th, and that was my first debut. And that debut was special because it was it premiered on the UFC 290 weigh-in show. So with that debut, I was going against another heavyweight, Stevie Ray Payne from Oklahoma. And as soon as I won the coin toss, I delivered my slap, and then it went viral from there. As soon as that was over, I see posts on World Star, posts on Power Slap page, posts on UFC, and a lot of people blowing up, just saying, what's this Power Slap? What's going on here? And Power Slap initially started with Dana White. Dana White had seen folks in Russia or Hungary, these guys that would just slap each other, but there was no initial competition with it. So he wanted, to create an event and a sport with it. So that's what he did, and then he started that, I believe, late last January. He started with a Survivor Series, almost like Ultimate Fighter.
Right.
And he had a few of the guys who are considered the pioneers in there. And I mean, those guys have worked their way out, heavyweight, light heavyweight, middleweight, all those things, just like the UFC. So everything that's built with Power Slap is in line and in tune with the UFC. That comes with divisions, that comes with weight classes, that comes with weigh-ins as well. And so there's just a lot of excitement and a lot of hype to it as well. So now myself, after July 7th, I immediately, 2 weeks later, there was the rankings that were posted, and I went from a nobody to now ranked number 4. And I just competed in August 9th against Duane Crespo, who is one of the pioneers, who's one of the main guys that started in Power Slap. And I was able to put him down as well. And because of that performance and because of that hype that was built of that in my performance, it now brings me to where we are today, which October 25th at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Time, 8 o'clock Central Time, is I will be facing Damian DeBell for the heavyweight world championship title belt.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. I can't wait to watch that. And I'm looking to get him on the show as well here. What's the date on that one? When's that fight coming up?
That will be October 25th, so that's going to be next Wednesday, right in Las Vegas.
Okay, October 25th. So I'm just curious here. You said that you were interested in this and you wanted to get into this. So what's the criteria? Because I know for UFC now, I mean, you got to be ultra elite. You got to win X amount of fights. You got to show and prove yourself. Whereas this is kind of just starting out. Did you say, hey, I want to do this? And then like, what is kind of the criteria to get into this? Like, let's just say I want to do this right now.
Right.
How do I get into it?
I say the biggest thing, I mean, honestly, I went online, did my research, and I was watching a lot of the Power Slap, and my pops, he was a big push for that. He ended up sending me a link, which is on the Power Slap site, where you can go ahead, fill out some credentials and criteria,
Right.
and give them a reason why you want to do it. Now, for my reason is I have aggression. I have a football background. I played football and all my life in high school, in college as well at Southwest Oklahoma State University. And I know my aggression. I know my tenacity and my willpower is undefeated. So by doing another competition, that's what I really thrive in because I've always been someone that's very competitive. I like competition and I really bask in that. So I was able to fill those things out. The next day, literally the next day, I got an email back saying, "All right, we need your height, weight, a full body image of you. What if you have any combative sports history, any of that nature?" Now, I've only done football. I've picked up boxing a little bit, but I think they really were just looking for somebody that can really sell the part and can really, go ahead and make a staple in this league. So it took 2 months after that. They went ghost. I didn't hear nothing from anybody just
Right.
because life happens, and I almost forgot about it. I almost forgot I filled something out. I get a phone call while I'm working out. I'm very big in the gym. I got a phone call from the talent manager saying that I'm in. And I
Nice.
mean that was a blessing. So I feel like anybody that wants to be a part of Power Slap, you just go to the website, fill that out, and now that it's picking up and now that it's on rise, there's a lot of people that are filling those applicant forms out, and it's even talking with some of the backstage folk at Power Slap. They're telling me that it's a lot of people and there's a lot of traffic going this way, but the only problem is they're not just looking for anybody. They're looking for certain people that are fit a certain criteria, folks that look the part, act the part, and gonna go ahead and do the part. So it's just like that.
That's amazing. Now, what position do you play? Are you still actively playing football? And what position do you play? And how's that situation going now? Are you looking NFL type thing, or where are you at now with your career in football?
So I'm done with football. I finished up school at Southwest Oklahoma State University. I played defensive end. I played that at my junior college as well, Erie Community College. Played defensive end, and I just thrived in that. Life took a different course, and
Right.
so now I actually work security and with the Buffalo Bills. So I'm their security detail at the Buffalo Bills. My father, he originally, the reason we moved to Buffalo, we're originally from Mississippi. He moved to Buffalo. He's a part of their video director. So he was a video director of the Buffalo Bills for a while, 16 years about.
Right.
And then now he's at Green Bay as their head video director. So football has always been a part of our lives. My football time came to an end, but I'm also a personal trainer as well. I love the gym. I love the aspect. Anything that gets me up and moving, I'm about it.
Let's talk about real quickly. I want to get back to the power slap. I got so many questions here with
Oh
power
yeah,
slap. This is amazing, by the way. Really want to dive into the security here with Buffalo because there was the death with the New England Patriots fan that just recently died. I
yeah.
ended up sharing a video with the Cowboys and Chargers game a week ago where people are just going crazy fighting. You know, they actually think it's their team, my team this, my team that. People are going crazy. So in regards to security, are you guys beefing up security? Are you more cognizantly aware now that these fights are happening? And what are you guys doing to take measures to prevent another death? Is there anything that, are you guys like, is there a bulletin on radar to be more cautious in stadiums right now with all these fan fights?
100%. With our security and ourself, we have two different security details. So with myself, I actually work for the stadium. for the Bills. I'm Bills owned with them. Now, with event staff, there's event staff that are always the ones wearing the yellow jackets at any NFL game.
Right.
Those are a private company themselves. Those are either Allied or Universal. Those are a big security group. So we're really their bosses, and the Bills are our bosses initially. So we are more of the behind the scenes work. We're the guys that either check the cameras or we escort players where they're supposed to go to the locker rooms. We escort coaches out and everything. So a lot of our jobs are really in tune or in line with a lot of the uh, players and the coaches and a lot of the staff. The folks that are in the yellow jackets and everything, those guys are more of the fanfare. They have the fan experience. They deal with the fan, and obviously, yes, they touch base to us, and we give them some directive. But the biggest thing is, I mean, obviously, every single home game that we have, every single away game,
Right.
we make sure that we have a briefing and that we're on top of all of our P's and Q's, and we talk to their head guy and they talk to our head guy to make sure that we're all locked in and that we're all on the same page.
Yeah, lot of scraps going on now. And again, I
Yeah.
think it's like the ownership of the team, and then you get alcohol mixed in there, people
Yeah.
drinking, you get egos
Oh
going,
yeah.
somebody yells at someone or someone hits on someone's girl, and then it's game on in
And
the
then
stands.
it's they're ready to go. Yeah.
Like this could have their own little power slap in the seats there going on there, man. Except those guys are swinging and missing. I'm seeing a lot of missing. So football, you're done for now. It's full time. It's pretty much obviously your day job, and then you've got power slap. This Damien fight. So what happens is you win this. Is the prize money good now? Are you guys getting paid decent money? Or obviously it's something that's going to level up. It's kind of like the pioneer days of this. It's just starting
Hmm.
out. But is the money sustainable enough like you're a pro athlete now at this? So
Yeah.
is it decent enough to, if you're champion, when does the money start getting serious? I mean, at
I,
champion level?
I'll say even from the jump when I first debuted, I mean, going ahead and winning that allotment of money, that sum that they gave us, even for each of our matches, whether it's you're debuting or whether they give you a call that you're coming to Vegas,
Right.
all of those are biggest blessings. And it just amps up even more the higher you go. So with this last one with Crespo, the allotment was even more so than it was when they debut. When it comes to DeBell, the allotment will be a lot more than what it was with Crespo. So it's a lot. It's growing, and I'm sure even in the future it's going to be very. It's going to have a lot of these guys. Even a lot of these guys now are quitting their daytime jobs because they see that this is really sustaining people, and that this is really a blessing. So I've it's only up from here, and a lot of the prize and a lot of the kudos and everything has just been, just such a blessing.
I'm gonna say what I like and what I don't like about this. What I don't like, and maybe you can disagree with me or not. That's what we're here for debate. Now I like
Yeah.
debate. I like to be a straight shooter. The only thing I don't like about this, the one thing that gets me, is that you gotta take a shot. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what bothers me. So if I'm in the street and I'm getting into a fight, I get to sucker. It's almost like you're getting sucker punched. So
Yeah.
that's the problem I have with it. So for someone who's training it on a high level like yourself, what are we doing to mitigate the chance of getting knocked out? Is it purely neck? Is it obviously having a good chin? Is it more neck training? Is it more, is it going to a place in your mind to say, I'm going to stay awake for this shot? Because it just sucks that you have to take it.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way that, I don't know, maybe when it gets adapted, there's a way you could throw up a hand or block or something. But anyway, what do you do in regards to preventing this? And are you okay with taking this shot at this point? Because I was watching the fight with Crespo, and prior to that, I'm guessing you you didn't take a
Mhm.
lot of shots, right? And then this was one of your first shots. Am I correct? And
Yeah.
how did it feel? And what are you doing to prevent any type of getting knocked out? Really?
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of this, even from the jump, it's crazy to even think about. You really gotta have a screw loose, to go ahead and do it. To be honest, and I'd say for myself to help negate being knocked out or to be able to hone your body to take a slap. Now that was my first one with Crespo
Yeah.
professionally. taking a slap. Now, prior to that, I knew my time was coming. I knew it was going to happen at some point. So I called a lot of my buddies to go ahead and smack me.
Yeah.
Obviously, the officials and everything with power slap, they give you cotton in your ears to make sure you're solid and on point. They make sure that you get a mouth guard to make sure you're on point as well. So a lot of these things help negate it, but as well as neck training, they have a jawser size to help your jaw strength, working on your traps, working on your shoulders, bracing. A lot of that just comes with straight willpower, you know. And I get it because a lot of folk are just like, why would you just want to get a right hook to the face? But at the end of the day, it's really not a right hook. It's a slap like anything else. But you see a lot of these videos that people are getting knocked out.
Right.
People are just, stumbling backwards. It's a lot. But it's part of it. And that's the nature of it.
Okay, that's physical. But from a mental toughness, are you doing anything? Is there any type of meditation? And do you have any previous career? Well, obviously football, you got to be mentally tough. But are you doing anything? Are you going to a place when the hit's about to come? Right? Are you going to a different place in your mind to anticipate it? Are you on an island somewhere going away, or what's going on mentally?
So even as soon as that initial hit came, like when it came with Crespo, that was my first one. When that initial hit came, I mean, I'm just looking at him right in his soul to make sure that I'm solid. I don't want to get slept. I want to make sure I'm good, but know what I'm doing it for. I'm not just doing it for myself and the glory, but my whole agenda really behind all of this is to push Buffalo. And a lot of people have seen Buffalo with the past storms that we've had, with the shootings that we've had, even
Right.
with, just the violence that we've had here. But a lot of it, people don't realize that Buffalo is a very prosperous area and a prosperous city. So I'm really just it's lowering myself and knowing and understanding who I'm doing it for. What am I doing it for? What's my purpose? So I'm locking in just like I do with football, locking in, make sure I'm right. When he gave me that first one, you know, that woke me up. I was good. And when it came for that second one, I knew what it was. I was ready for it. So it's putting yourself in a place. You really got to be tenacious for it. You really got to, want to be able to take that man and put him at his lowest level, really, knock his head off. And even with the same, when he get delivering that slap, I got to bite down and make sure I'm good 100%.
For people that are new, I mean, is it a coin flip on the first shot? How can you explain that? And also a two-part question here. How do you determine who goes first? Again, to the people that are new to this stuff. And
Okay.
secondly, how much of a, have you looked at the statistical analytics on how much of a disadvantage it is to take the first shot? Because I'm assuming it's not good to take that first shot. You want to go first, ideally, right?
Ideally, you want to go first. Now, statistically, I believe it's only 21% of those that have been hit first end up winning, right? So if you look at it statistically, I know Dana White spoke of it before, and I don't know quite all sure the numbers and statistics behind it, but I know it's obviously, yeah. If you see it as a viewer, you want to
Right.
have that first one. Now, to the basis of the coin toss, they do that. It's an unbiased area. It's the Nevada State Commission, so they're completely unbiased behind the UFC, behind the power slap. They go ahead, look up two names, flip a coin, and then just let it rock like that. So it's completely unknown to us. It's an unknown to the people at Power Slap until maybe 4 weeks out from the initial match. Then they go ahead, put the names, who won the coin toss, who didn't win the coin toss, so that way we have time to prep whether we won or whether we didn't.
My opinion on this, okay, obviously I'd want to hit first, but if I get hit first, right, and I weather that storm, there's a psychological shift at that point for me, because not only one, did you slap me, now I'm pissed off.
Oh
Second of
yeah,
all, there's a confidence booster, because now you're like, man, you hit me with everything you've got. That was your first shot. Let's go now. I'm going to hit you twice as hard. Like, I would think that would level me up.
oh
Let's
yeah.
win now. Am I right? Again, I haven't
No,
played this. Yeah.
you're definitely right with that last one with Crespo. Now, I've won both of my coin tosses in the past two matches. However, last match was my first time actually getting professionally slapped. So when he went ahead and slapped me, it was the same thing with me. I started getting pissed off. I was ready. I was amped
Yeah.
up, just like I would do with football. And I delivered my blow to him, and then when he came and was ready to strike me the second time, I was locked in. I was ready to go because it's that tenacious side. It's that dog in you that wants to go ahead and handle business. And so I mean, I was just leveling up even more. Every single hit that I had, I was turning up the notch every single one. So that's exactly how it is. Just like how you said.
No matter what, you're gonna get haters, okay? And I'm not like just because you're on my show right now, I'm not gonna have any biased opinion here. But I watched
Yeah,
the thing. I saw some comments there saying that Duane Crespo got robbed and this and that. No matter what you do in this world, there's always gonna be someone hating on you. Now I watch it. My opinion, I think he was out of it when maybe he kind of was coming back to it, but you rocked him. I mean, at this point, it was probably unhealthy for him to come back and continue. So I think it was the right call. Some people say he was robbed. Are they still going on about that he was robbed? Is he going on about that? Is there any more drama surrounding that? Or have they confirmed that you definitely deserve this, you want it, or is there still more drama around that decision?
I mean, I'd say you're gonna have hate no matter what, and
Yeah,
to be honest, it's completely the hate is not even directed towards my way because I'm not the one that stops the matches.
right.
It's the officials, it's the judges that stop the matches, so they go ahead and handle the business, and if they seem fit that he won or if I won, that's what it is. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep doing my thing. He's gonna keep doing his thing, and that's just how it is. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and unfortunately, the hate will always be there. But that's with the officials.
Okay, just want to wrap this up here with mental toughness here. In regards to like loose screws, you mentioned that earlier in the show. What's your loose screw? I mean, where are you here? Like for me, when I work out, I release aggression, dopamine rush, all that stuff. For you, what is it that really drives you to do this? What makes you wake up and say, I want to get slapped in the face today? Straight up.
I mean, to be honest, like, I mean, I'm normally just a real chill person, right? I be chilling, but like when I work out, when I did football, things like that, that's when you gotta have that nutty button. You gotta go ahead and make that switch and turn it on, turn it off. Now, when I go up there and I'm in Vegas, anytime they give me that call and I'm in Vegas, that's when it's all business. It's all, it's personal. We're there, you know what I'm saying? And when I come home, then I'll come back to normal Nate. Come back to, all right, let's go back to work. Let's go ahead and do my daily duties, do what I got to do, continue to work out. But I keep it really just on off. I mean, my screw comes loose when I know that there's another grown man that wants to go ahead, has the same agenda as me and wants to put me down just as much as I want to put him down. So it's things like that that go ahead and you know kind of differentiate itself. I like to turn it on, turn it off, but when I'm up there, it's a show. So I gotta make sure people know who I am and how I get down.
And what is the future of this sport, do you think? Do you think it just sticks to the slap? Or obviously it's going to be very hard to tell. Because again, when you look at MMA, it started off with just a bunch of people kicking each other's face and teeth. And then rules started to get in, things got tight. And I think it's going to adapt as we go. But where do you see anything added to this? Just off the top of your head, any type of future prediction on where the future of this will go? Do you see some sort of mask coming on where you put like a face shield or something? Do you see anything, or have you heard any buzz on where this could eventually be going and how it's going to level up, in the near future, in the far future?
I say, I mean, even now, right now, there's been a few talks about different rules being put in place. One of them is called the redemption rule. So if I were to go ahead and knock somebody out on the first go, he has 2 minutes to get back up instead of the 10 count. He has 2 minutes to get back up. And after those 2 minutes, he's solid. He's checked with the doctor. He's good. He has one initial slap to go ahead and land on me. And if he doesn't knock me out by then I'm declared the winner. But if he ends up knocking me out, then they end it in a draw. So it's continuing to grow and progress, and it's going to be a whole, always going to be evolving into something new. I mean, for myself personally, I know what I signed up for. I know I signed up to get hit and to hit, and I for me, I just want to win it all. I want to go ahead, bring a belt back home to Buffalo, and it's people here in Buffalo are really eating it up. They're enjoying it. They're loving it. I mean, even flying back from Vegas a few times, I've had folks recognize me, which has never happened other than football. Recognize me off the plane, uh, of hey, you do power slap? Are you this guy? I'm like, yeah, and it's cool. It's cool to know that people are recognizing I'm not one for talking shit. I'm not somebody for any other gimmick other than I'm here to win. I'm here to get it done, and I'm here to make my name known that I'm a champion.
You're literally making history. Like we can look back on this 15 years when this sport evolves, and we'll look at you, right? And Damien and everybody else say, wow, these are the Hoist Gracies and the
Yeah,
Shamrocks of that time. Has that hit you like you guys are like the pioneers of this? Has that even resonated with you? How
it,
amazing this could be?
it has a bit. I mean, to be honest, I mean a lot of people and a lot of talk, even speaking with Dana White himself. Um, I mean, he was talking to all the guys and talking to me myself. He's like, this is the next big thing. This is something that's going to keep growing. And I firmly believe that if people are eating it up right now they're even trying to get sanctioned in other states so they can go ahead and travel other than Vegas. So that way they can have a different kind of clientele come, people that can actually buy tickets and come watch this instead of just some TikTokers and influencers and folks of that nature that are in the high uh, categories and high caliber of people. Now, to have the average Joe come in and watch two dudes just smack each other, I mean, people would eat it up. So it's definitely resonated in myself that this is that I'm me and DeBell and folks that are doing it right now. Come a few years down the road, it's it's really like the pioneer type deal. If they're already doing a contender series, which they're just finished up the second one, the second season. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the future?
No pun intended, but I mean, literally, this is like an instant hit. Like if you think about it, right? Like when you watch TikTok and you're on social, it's like the hits, the hit, the hit. Like it's the quick hit. It's the short attention span of everybody now. So you're
Yeah,
getting,
yeah.
so that's number one. And number two, you're getting the instant climax. Like you don't have to wait 5 rounds of like running
Hmm.
around or grappling. You're getting boom, you're getting right to the action. That's what I like about it. It's like the instant hit. It's that dopamine rush for the viewer, and then you get
Hmm.
right to the climax. You're getting right to the knockout. So that's why
That's
I
it.
like it. Another thing I want to ask you, a serious question here, guy. I like serious, and I want some sort of like real answer to this. And maybe you'll know it better than me. I was watching this with my friend, and we seriously asked this, and I don't know how to answer this question. Does the beard make an advantage at all? Like, a serious question, because again, if you have a
Yeah.
big beard, it may be soft. Because I thought about this, maybe it softens the blow. Maybe it takes a little bit of the friction of the hand off. I don't
Hmm.
know. Is there an advantage to have a beard at all, or no?
I've got, I honestly, if I could really be 100% honest, I feel if you have a beard that's like really well grown and it's like, a little thicker on both sides, then it's definitely going to maybe lessen the blow. But it also depends who you're going against. Now, the crazy Hawaiian, big dude, has a massive beard. And that himself, he's gone against folk that, really don't have a beard.
Right.
And even still, it's they're delivering blows to him like it's nobody's business. It's a hand, if anything. And I feel like the beard will give you some cushion to a degree, but to be honest, it's really if you got that dog and you then go ahead and take that slap because folks that he's gone against, some of them really don't have beards and they're able to rock him and he's able to bounce back and answer that call too. So it's really up for debate still.
I appreciate you answering all these questions. One more that's in my head here. When you're hitting, are you hitting with the palm here? Is there any way it's like a palm heel strike? Like how are you doing it where they're like how are they going to know if I don't turn my wrist and get them with the palm? How are we
Mhm.
monitoring that? Because that's another thing when I watch this. How do they know? And where are you? Which part of your hand are you supposed to hit when you're hitting?
So
Exactly.
they every single time that we go to Vegas, they give us even if we've already been there, they give us an hour and a half breakdown of the rules again. Now that's on the defense and that's on the offensive side. Offensive side, it should be below the temple and above the chin. and it shouldn't be the heel of your hand or the palm strike. It needs to be an open hand, fingers and the meat of it. Now it can't be the wrist, it can't be the heel, it can't be the side. It has to be clean, just like you're measuring to somebody, and then that's the way.
Right.
Now they have an instant replay cam that will go ahead and check on that. So if I were to go ahead and hit somebody, the refs, they have about 6 or 7 people up there, spotters and refs, that are watching the event itself. So if I smack somebody and I end up going a little too high or a little too low,
Right.
they'll count that as a clubbing violation and dock me points because of that. So they're very, very technical on the rules, and they're still, they're still learning for sure. And they may not get all the calls, but they're doing a great job right now of getting the ones that really look there.
Well, thank you, Nate. I appreciate it. What does the future hold for you? You become champion of this. You take over. Obviously, you're going to defend the belt, right? You're going to probably take it as far as it goes here. How long do you see yourself going with this? And what's the age thing on this? Like, I mean, you don't want to be slapped at like 45, 50
Yeah,
years
yeah.
old, right? Like, what's the deal? I mean, there's only so many slaps you could take. So what does
Right.
your future hold for you? What are your goals here?
I say I'm 25 right now, so I plan to get the belt, and obviously anyone that steps up to the plate, I'm going to defend that belt, and whatever the future holds, that's what it will hold. I don't plan on slapping or getting slapped for the rest of my life for sure, but I know that I'm gonna ride this high as long as I can, because honestly, it's a very fun thing. It's exciting. My family's enjoying it, and just seeing the people here in Buffalo just get involved in it and get immersed in it. It's awesome. It's exciting. So we'll see what the future holds, but I plan to take that belt. I plan to defend that belt as much as I can, and hopefully hopefully end up later on, a long time down the road, retire and then see what else is next in store in my life.
Okay. And how do they watch this, and how do they watch you and get in touch with you and, follow your stuff?
So everybody that wants to go ahead and watch Power Slap is going to be live and free on the Rumble app. If you download on Apple Store, it's just type in Rumble. It's the first one with the green arrow. Plug that in, go to the search bar, type in Power Slap. You'll be able to watch live and free on Rumble October 25th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central Time, and 6 p.m. Pacific Time. To get in touch with me, my Instagram is Nate_Burnard, Burnard, and my Twitter is N8__91.
Nice. I like how humble you guys are. Just humble, down to earth guys, but you're a top athlete in something that's just brand new. It just happens to be brand new, but you're the top of that sport, which is still pretty remarkable. So yeah, I think it'll catch on. Remember, UFC was kind of like, what is this? Like, this is crazy. This is barbaric. This is whatever. And then look what the UFC has become. It's a professional sport. These guys are, world renowned, so it'll get there. And you're one of the pioneers, and hopefully you're still around competing in it when it reaches the pinnacle that it absolutely could. So that would be amazing.
My biggest thing is just saying it's hate it or love it, y'all still watching. So that's what it's going to be.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Nate. I appreciate you coming on. It means a lot. And go follow him and make sure you guys are watching Power Slap. I'll be tuning in a lot more now that I've met you and I know you more. I feel invested now.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Nate. I appreciate it. We'll talk soon, guys. More episodes coming your way. Forever.